Hello, dear final year diploma students. Welcome again to MSBT e-content, which is an excellent initiative taken by the Maharashtra State Board of Technical Education Mumbai to facilitate online learning. This e-content is on the course Emerging Trends in Mechanical Engineering, having course code 22652. This is applicable for mechanical engineering and allied branches. I am Professor Ketan Karandikar from Mechanical Engineering Department of Myers MIT Polytechnic, Kothur, Pune. In this second session, we are going to continue our discussion on unit number 4, Energy Audit and Management. This is the course outcome. Use different standards for energy management and audit of a given system. This is our specific unit outcome 4B. Describe methods of energy monitoring and targeting. In this session, we are going to focus on the topic 4.2.1 Data and Information Analysis. This is our agenda for today's session. We are going to start with the introduction to energy monitoring and targeting, which is commonly denoted by M and T. We are going to learn the concepts of energy monitoring as well as energy targeting. Then we are going to study its scope and its specific applications. Further, we are going to study the different elements of energy monitoring and targeting system as well as the functions of each of these essential elements and the various processes involved in energy monitoring and targeting. Proceeding further, we are going to see the different techniques of data and information analysis. Finally, we are going to conclude this session by seeing some examples on data information and analysis, which includes the pie charts and the bar charts. So students, let us start with our session. In this first slide, we are going to learn the concepts of energy monitoring and energy targeting. As every one of you must be aware that any industry, may it be a small scale, medium scale, or large scale industry, utilizes some or the other form of energy to manage its day-to-day processes. These forms of energy can either be thermal, mechanical, electrical, and so on. You all must also be aware through common sense that maximizing the energy saving will maximize the industry's profit. Energy monitoring and targeting is a management technique which aims at saving the energy. It utilizes the energy information as its base and serves the following aims. First, eliminating the waste, which will automatically lead to energy saving and maximizing the profit. Second, reducing and controlling the current energy usage. This can be achieved either by using efficient machines and processes or by reducing unnecessary energy usage. The third aim of energy monitoring and targeting is to improve on the existing operating practices. Energy monitoring and targeting follows the principle you can't manage what you don't measure. Let me explain this principle in simple words. If we do not measure how much energy we are using, we won't be able to achieve the energy saving because we won't be able to understand what and where to exactly save. Energy monitoring and targeting utilizes the principles of energy usage and its statistics. Now we'll discuss the exact concept of energy monitoring, which aims at establishing the current or baseline energy performance. In simple words, energy monitoring means to measure how much energy we are actually using. Similarly, energy targeting aims at identification of defined targeted energy consumption. So in simple words, by using energy targeting process, we will set a particular target which we actually want to achieve through energy saving. Now in this slide, we will look at the scope of energy monitoring and targeting. Energy monitoring and targeting is used for managing the following utilities in a plant or in a building. Utilities like fuel, steam, refrigeration and air conditioning, compressed air, water and effluents, as well as electricity can be managed for energy saving using the techniques of energy monitoring and energy targeting. In energy monitoring and targeting, the entire facility or the entire industry is divided into various small numbers of energy cost centers. Each energy cost center is closely monitored for its energy performance. Later on, the energy used is compared with the production volume or any other suitable measure of operation. After that, the targets are set once the information is available, and finally, these targets are achieved. If these targets are not achieved, if there are any gaps, then this can be rectified by using suitable remedial actions, which we will discuss in the forthcoming slides. Here I have included one statement that energy monitoring and targeting has been very effective. Yes, this is absolutely correct because according to studies, in any industry, energy has got the highest potential of achieving the annual saving. So same thing you can see here. The estimated reduction in annual energy cost for various industrial sectors is about 5 to 20%. This can only be achieved through energy monitoring and targeting programs. In this slide, we are going to learn about the different elements of an energy monitoring and targeting system. Here I have included a simple flowchart which shows these different elements starting from element number 1 to element number 7. Let me explain all the elements one by one. First one is recording. In recording, we actually measure the amount of energy which is required for carrying out the particular process in an industry. This measurement of energy is done by using different energy audit instruments. The second element is analyzing. In analyzing, we simply correlate the energy consumption with the production volume. The third element is comparing. In comparing, we compare the actual energy usage with the standard or benchmark energy usage. Now let me explain this to you with the help of a small example. In an industry, for manufacturing 10 shafts in one shift, we require 100 units of electricity. But the standard says that we should only require 80 units of electricity. So here we are actually comparing our actual energy usage, that is 100 electrical units, with the standard or benchmark energy usage, that is only 80 units. The fourth element is setting the targets. Now, what we are going to do here in this particular example, we are going to set a target according to the benchmark. That is, for manufacturing 10 shafts, we should only require 80 electrical units. So that is our target. In step number 5, we are going to achieve this set target, and we are going to continuously monitor whether we are actually requiring 80 electrical units or more than 80 electrical units for manufacturing the shafts. In element number 6, that is reporting, we are going to report if more than 80 units are required for manufacturing the shafts. If more than 80 units are required for manufacturing the shafts, that means that we need to control our process, which is achieved in element number 7. We take some control measures in order to reduce the energy consumption. We can take a simple control measure here, that instead of using an electric motor having less efficiency, we can go for an electric motor having more efficiency. That will actually reduce the electrical consumption, and our set target of 80 units can be easily achieved. So this is how the cycle consisting of different elements of an energy monitoring and targeting system works. In this slide, I have included what we discussed in the previous slide. Here you can see the essential elements of an energy monitoring and targeting system and their functions. So students, you are requested to go through this once again and try to correlate what I just explained in the previous slide. In this slide, we are going to study the relation. In this slide, we are going to learn the first example of graphical technique of energy data analysis, which is the pie chart. Concentrate on table number 1, annual energy cost sheet. It has two main components, the thermal energy bill and electricity bill. The thermal energy bill consists of three fuels, in which the fuel number 1 is the furnace oil, fuel number 2 is LPG, and fuel number 3 is HSD. Both the thermal energy bill and electricity bill are represented month-wise. The last column shows the total energy bill, which is the addition of thermal energy bill and electricity bill. This completes step number 1 of energy data analysis. In this step, we have represented the energy bills in the form of a table. In step number 2, we are going to make this process simpler by representing the energy bills in the form of a pie chart. You can clearly see the pie chart at the bottom right of this slide. By simply observing this pie chart, one can easily get to know that the furnace oil constitutes of 38% of the total energy bills, LPG 12%, HSD 5%, and electricity 45%. So we can simply analyze that particular industry utilizes 45% of electricity and remaining of the thermal energy to manage its day-to-day processes. In this slide, we are going to see a second example of a pie chart for energy data analysis. Concentrate on table 2, that is the fuel conversion data. In the first column, energy sources are represented. in which one energy source is electricity, its supply unit is in kilowatt hours, whereas the remaining three energy sources, which are HSD, furnace oil, and LPG, they are thermal based, so their supply units are in kilograms. In the last column, we have applied a conversion factor and we have converted all these units in the form of a common unit called as kilocalories. The conversion factor can be seen as 860 for electricity, 10,500 for HSD, 10,200 for furnace oil, and 12,000 for LPG. This completes step number 1. I will repeat once again that in step number 1, we have converted the supply units of different types of fuels in one common energy unit, that is the kilocalories. In step number 2, we simply draw a pie chart showing the percentage usage of each energy resource as shown in this figure. From this figure, one can get an idea that LPG constitutes of 15% of the total energy, HSD 5%, electricity 18%, and remaining is the furnace oil. So students, in this slide, we are going to learn about the second graphical technique of energy data analysis, which is the bar chart. Imagine that our energy data for 12 months or 24 months is represented in the form of an Excel spreadsheet. It will be very difficult for us to analyze such an Excel spreadsheet. Hence, we are using a graphical technique called as bar chart to represent these energy bills. There are four types of bar charts. First is the monthly consumption data for current and previous year. Second is the annual total for energy and production. Third is the monthly specific energy consumption. And fourth one is the specific energy consumption with production. In the forthcoming slides, we are going to see the actual images of these bar charts. In this slide, we are going to see the first two types of bar charts. The first type of bar chart is the monthly energy consumption for current year and previous year. This is the most commonly used bar chart in energy management, as you can see in the figure on the top right hand corner. In such a bar chart, we can see the energy data for a particular month for the previous year, that is 1999, and the current year, that is 2000. But in this bar chart, we can nowhere see the production data. This is the main limitation of such a type of bar chart, which only shows us the energy usage without showing us the production. The second type of bar chart is the annual total for energy and production. As the name suggests, it is showing us the annual total energy usage along with the production. As you can see in this figure on the bottom right hand side, the pink colored line shows us the production, whereas the blue colored line shows us the energy usage. Again, both of these, that is the production and energy, are shown for particular months starting from December 99 to December 2000, that is for 1 year. So students, in this last slide, we are going to see the remaining two types of bar charts. The third type of bar chart is the monthly specific energy consumption. The concept of specific energy consumption is the energy consumed per unit of production. In this bar chart, as shown on the top right hand corner, we can see the specific energy consumption in an industry for each month starting from January 99 to December 2000. That is for a total period of 24 months. in the fourth type of bar chart, which is the specific energy consumption with production, as shown in this bar chart on the bottom right hand corner. We can see the specific energy consumption per month along with the production for that particular month. So if we compare the fourth type of bar chart with the third type of bar chart, we can conclude that the bar chart number 4 is better because along with showing the specific energy consumption, it also shows the production data for each month. So students, I hope you have understood all that which you have learned about energy monitoring, energy targeting, essential elements of energy monitoring and energy targeting system, different graphical techniques of energy data and information analysis. If you have any doubts, you can revise all the slides once again and later on test yourself by attempting these 6 multiple choice questions. Thank you very much for your patient listening and wish you all the very best.